Welcome to the Scalable Marketing Machine Podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Hajar, marketing consultant for female founders and creator of the Scalable Marketing Machine Accelerator. I've helped dozens of women grow and scale their businesses from 6 to 7 figures and beyond, helping founders like you to implement my proven growth system that focuses on brand communication, marketing strategy, building your lean team, and leadership. On this podcast, we talk all about what it takes to get to the next level in marketing and in life, focusing on practical, tactical advice that will help you grow your business and explode your revenue. Are you ready to learn? Let's dive in. Customer experience is marketing. Happy clients don't just stay longer, they refer others. That's why I implore you to look at your customer service and the way that you are actually executing on your product or service, right? Onboarding those clients as part of your marketing program. The truth is, word of mouth marketing generates 2 times more sales than paid ads. That's by a study done by McKinsey. And referred customers have a 37% higher retention rate. That was from a study put out by Deloitte. So this is real. These statistics are real. They affect our revenue. And it's something that marketing can influence tremendously, right? The delivery of our product or service, the customer service aspect of our business, marketing can help a lot with that, right? And so I'm going to talk to you about a couple ways that we can implement really dialed in marketing programs as part of our delight and advocate stages of our 24/7 marketing flywheel. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been working through each of the 6 stages of the 24/7 marketing flywheel. If you haven't heard of the 24/7 marketing flywheel, just tuning into us and you want kind of a in-depth overview, you can head over to episode 200 of the podcast, and it breaks down all of the 6 stages of the 24/7 marketing flywheel. But in today's episode, we're kind of touching base on the last 2 phases, which is the delight phase and the advocate phase. So we've gone through an tremendous journey of reaching brand new audiences, bringing them into our world, nurturing them, getting them ready to buy with us. They've booked that sales call or demo. They've made that sale with us. Now they're a customer, right? How are we going to ensure that they are outrageously happy? Because outrageously happy customers will help to fill that pipeline again. Fill that pipeline again. Yeah. So we can do this in a couple ways. I started my career working in hospitality, and one of the phrases that we would always say, like again and again and again in the hotel business, was how can we surprise and delight our customers? And this is, this could look like giving small gifts or chocolates or champagne or whatever in the room when they arrive, something that they didn't expect that's just going to make them arrive with a really happy feeling. And it doesn't matter whether you're a hotel or, a product or a service, we can be designing these moments of surprise and delight into our businesses in many different ways. And so one of the biggest opportunities we have from a marketing perspective, and one that should be sort of most basic table legs for your business, is, do we have systems for making sure that the purchasing experience and the delivery experience is efficient and organized and clear? So this is our systems are, our purchase page, do we get the invoice on time? Do we have email communication so that person knows that the payment went through? Making sure that operationally everything is in step. And again, oftentimes marketing is responsible for making sure all of those pieces work, all of those things work. And if they don't, and there's a breakdown, you're going to give a really bad experience to your customers, right? But that's kind of like the boring stuff, because this delight phase is, I think, one of the most creative phases of the 24/7 marketing flywheel, and a place where you can get really creative. And there's tons of things that you can do for a very low cost that's really going to stand out, right? So digitally, you could be, sending, follow-up notes or tips or tricks or something that relates to your product or service as an email. I've seen things where CEOs will send a video thanking customers for purchasing. I've seen, companies that send like care instructions for products that someone just recently purchased. I've even seen for service-based businesses, a lot of folks send physical pieces of mail, handwritten postcards, or even gifts to thank that customer, that client for becoming a customer or a client, right? There's a lot of really fun, creative ways that we can do that. There's also really easy things we can do, like gathering someone's birthday and sending them a birthday message when it's their birthday, or giving them a little gift or a discount on their birthday. We can be, segmenting, getting more information about that customer or client, and then sending things that are relevant to them, like, if they have kids, do we know what their kids' names are, right? These are things that the sales team can utilize a lot in their communication, but it's also we can customize communication based on any information we have stored in our CRM. We can create custom fields to generate automated messages that feel super personalized, right? So understanding kids' names, or understanding where people live, or understanding what their industry is, or XYZ LMNOP. These are small little things that we can be doing to implement into our communication throughout the year that's going to feel really special and really personalized to folks, right? So once you've spent kind of time, energy, and effort designing some of these surprise and delight moments, how do we turn those super happy customers into advocates, right? Into those raving fans? Well, this is where systemizing asking for testimonials, systemizing the creation of case studies, things like that, is going to be really useful for you. And this could be automated emails. This could be just having like a really dialed in process for someone in the marketing team or the sales team to pick up the phone and check in with clients or customers and asking them to kind of give their feedback. You could ask them to fill out surveys and then give them a small reward for doing so. You can ask them to leave a testimonial and give them a small reward for doing so, right? Not because you're bribing people, but because you're respecting their time. And the more that we just have this system baked into what we're already doing, we kind of look at it from an operations perspective as part of the onboarding process, we're going to be getting a lot more of those referrals and those testimonials simply because we're asking consistently. What most businesses do is at random points of the year, they say, oh, we don't have any like recent testimonials. We don't have any case studies. And then it becomes like a quarterly goal and everyone puts their focus into it, which, it's important to do, but it could be taking your time away from other important quarterly rocks you could be focusing on because you just don't have the systems in place, right? We could be putting great systems in place and simply setting and forgetting it, right? So we want to be asking for this content so we can then repurpose it. We can use it as credibility builders. We can use it as social content. There's so many things that we can do. One piece of the puzzle, though, I want to mention is, it's not enough to just like ask for a testimonial. It's not enough to ask for a case study. Obviously, case study is more in depth, but let's look at a testimonial or a review. The way that we ask the question is really important because we want to be able to extract information from our happy customers that are going to point to the really important marketing communication that we want to be sharing, right? So how can we if we ask people to fill out a questionnaire or survey, right? How are we structuring the questions of that questionnaire or survey that's going to match, the pain points or the objections of our prospects? If we can get real life testimonials and the words of the happy customers that are going to be handling the objections, right? Or the resistance that our prospects would have on the beginning of the process, that's going to serve us even more than just asking for a testimonial, right? So the more that we can guide our happy customers or clients in filling this out, and that could be as simple as just making sure that the question is structured in a way that makes that person, that individual, answer in a way that's going to be more useful, right? For you, for the marketing team, for content creation. So in what ways are you surprising and delighting your customers and clients? Do you have any ways that you are just putting a smile on their face in a way that they did not expect? This is going to really help produce those happy customers, right? Aside from delivering what you promised to deliver them, we need to keep our promises, right? Delight is about going beyond that, right? It's going beyond what we promised to give them something that they don't expect. That's the whole idea of delight. And then advocate. What systems, simple automated systems do you have in place for asking for feedback and then rewarding someone for giving you their time? Again, we're not bribing, but we're showing our appreciation. This could be as simple as a thank you, or it could be as much as a Starbucks gift card, something like that. But this helps to churn, right, that flywheel again, because the great testimonials and case studies, whatever we're building off of those happy customers, it's just going to be the proof in the pudding that we need to convert prospects in the future. So this is how we close the loop. And this is the magic of the 24/7 marketing flywheel, which again is the framework that I use to design all of the marketing strategies for the clients that I work with, and also how I design my own marketing strategy, my own business. So I've seen this in action. I see it work. I see it get incredible results for businesses. And I hope that, whether you need some extra support, which is, I'm always here to support you, either by giving advice, or you can hire me and my team to help execute this for you, or even if you're doing it all yourself, I implore you to really be following this framework to build your marketing strategy, because it's going to help you do it in a measured way where you can understand what's working and what's not working. And that brings me to kind of the last bit I wanted to touch on today's episode, because we are coming to the end of the quarter, which is unbelievable. And at the end of the quarter, it's really a time for review and reflection on what's working or not working in your business. And where a lot of folks get frustrated and get stuck for like many, many years is just simply not understanding what's working and what's not working. And when it comes to marketing and sales, this can be the difference between success and failure. We need to understand our failures and learn from them in order to improve, in order to actually get better, right, at all that we're doing. And you, as the leader of your business, are responsible for creating the space for that review with your team. Because whether you're working with one team member or 20 or 50 or 100 team members, right, the way that we're going to grow our business and get to the next level is that if everyone on our team is learning and growing with us, right, that the work output that they are giving to us is improving. And by improving, meaning that it's getting the results and it's getting better with time, because we're getting more insights. We're honing our messaging. We're honing in our strategy, right? This is the boring part of marketing, but it is the most important part of marketing. Just setting up our system, our marketing system, setting up a strategy and really paying attention, watching it, testing, iterating, and improving upon it to make it better and better and better. And the quicker we can do that, right, the more focused and more efficient we can be in doing that, the quicker we're going to see results from all of this, right? So 2 steps: building out your flywheel, your full and thriving flywheel. And number 2, iterating and improving upon it. And when we come to the end of the quarter, right, and we're ready to make our quarterly goals for the upcoming quarter, for the marketing department at least, we need to stay firm on this focus, which is asking our team, asking ourselves, have we built out our 24/7 marketing flywheel? Do we have a proven framework that we've built our marketing strategy against, that we know if we just follow those instructions, we're going to get the results? Do we have something like that in place? If not, we need to get that done. So any missing piece of that becomes a quarterly goal. Once we have that all built out, the next question becomes, is it working? What's working? What's not working? And if there's any piece of that flywheel of your marketing strategy that's not working for you, that's not getting the results that you need, that becomes the focus for the quarter, right? We don't have to have a full perfect flywheel, like everything working perfectly. That's probably never going to happen. It's an ongoing process of iterating and improving. And say you do have your flywheel working like gangbusters, right? You have created this one track that really is getting those results for you. Well, then the next step is really, what other lead channels can we open up? What other nurture strategies can we be going to? This is how we actually grow and scale our marketing efforts, and in turn grow and scale our business and grow and scale our revenue, which is, for all of us listening, probably our primary goal, right? How do we consistently grow our revenue or maintain a revenue that is going to help support our teams, our businesses, and our lives as founders, as entrepreneurs, right? Because that's what we're all here for. So I hope you've enjoyed this series talking about the 24/7 marketing flywheel. And I want to invite you for something very special that I only offer a couple times a year, which is to have me personally, not anyone on my team, me personally review your 24/7 marketing flywheel and audit it and give you your exact next steps that you need to focus on for the upcoming quarter. So we'll spend an hour together. We'll go through an audit, which I have an actual audit that's going to give you like a score, like a percentage score that's going to show you exactly the area that you need to focus on in the upcoming quarter. I'm going to give you specific instructions on exactly what to do to get results out of that flywheel. And then I also can help find really affordable and vetted folks to help execute any piece where you may need a little bit more support. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can head over to uglyventures.com/audit. So ugliventures.com/audit. And you can set up an audit with me. I only open my calendar a couple days out of the month to be able to do this, to work with a handful of founders for free to audit your marketing strategy, your 24/7 marketing flywheel, to make sure that you get on the right path to have real success in the upcoming quarter, right? Test, iterate, improve. So I'm here to help you. Go to uglyventures.com/audit. Otherwise, I'll see you back here next week for another dose of marketing education. See you then. You did it. You made it to the end of the episode. Thanks for sticking around with me and listening all the way to the end. I really appreciate you as an audience member, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you did like this episode, it would mean so much to me if you subscribed, if you rate and review this podcast. It helps other people know that this podcast has something worth saying. It also would be super awesome if you could take a screenshot and share on Instagram and tag me at Ugly Ventures, UGLI Ventures, VENTURES. I am always so appreciative to hear from you, and I hope to see you back here next week